Listening to problem solving.
Hello, Ms. Jeffers. I'm Matthew, your temp from the agency.
Yes, hello, Matthew. This way, please. I have you set up here. I'm afraid your task isn't very challenging, but it's just for one day. Please have a seat.
Thank you. What am I to do?
These boxes on your left contain envelopes. The boxes in the middle contain letters. I'd like you to put one letter into each envelope. Make sure you fold the letter like this, so the address shows in the window of the envelope. Then put it in this empty box on your right.
Would you like me to seal the envelopes as well? If you have a sponge and a little dish of water or one of those dabber things?
No. Fortunately, we have a machine that will do that.
Okay. Is that all? I don't need to answer any phones?
No, your task is simple. I'm sure you'll be quite sick of it shortly. I apologize in advance for that. Question 1.
What is at the man's workstation?
Question 2.
Which word best describes the man's task?
Now listen to part 2.
How are you doing, Matthew? Are you ready for a break? I'll show you where our break room is.
Thanks. I am ready for a break. You were quite right about the nature of the job. That's exactly why I hope to obtain regular employment soon. May I ask, do you know if there are any full-time jobs here?
I'm afraid I don't know. At lunch, you could go to the Human Resources Department and ask. If there isn't anything at the moment for you, be sure to ask if you can fill out an application anyway.
Thank you. May I list you as a reference?
Ask me at the end of the day. If you finish stuffing all of the envelopes and none of the letters are in backwards, I'd be happy to let you use my name as a reference. Question 3.
What is the man's role in the company?
Question 4.
What does the man intend to do at lunchtime?
Question 5.
What can we tell from this conversation?
Now listen to part 3.
Hi, Matthew. It's lunchtime now.
Oh, good. My hands are a bit sore, but I think I'm about halfway through.
Yes, it looks like it. That's good. Do make sure you come find me at the end of the day. Would you like me to show you where Human Resources is?
Yes, thank you. And if I may ask, I have music on my phone and earbuds. Would it be against the rules to listen to music while I work this afternoon? I think it would help a bit.
Yes, that would be okay, as long as you keep the volume low enough that no one else hears it.
Thank you.
Question 6.
What is the man's response to the woman's announcement?
Question 7.
What does this part of the conversation imply?
Question 8.
Why does the woman tell him to find her later?
Listening for information.
Hi there. What brings you into Artland today?
Hi. I'm looking to take up painting as a hobby, and my grandson just gave me a gift certificate to this store. The problem is, I really have no idea where to start. I'm wondering if you can give me some advice.
Of course. That's what I'm here for. Well, let me start by asking you a few questions. Were you looking to enroll in our classes?
I have a lot of free time, so I figured I would try it on my own.
Certainly. Do you have ideas about what subjects you want to paint?
I think landscapes. We were looking at some old photographs on my birthday, and I thought it would be nice to recreate the rolling hills of the beautiful farm I grew up on in Manitoba. I've been living in Toronto for 5 decades now, and though I love city life and the downtown skyline, the memories of sunsets on the farm are still with me.
Wonderful. Well, the three basic types of paints are watercolor, acrylic, and oil. They are all suitable for landscapes. I would say watercolor is the hardest for a beginner to start with, even though it is the most affordable of them all.
I don't think watercolor will be the one for me then. What's the main difference between acrylics and oils?
The amount of time it takes for the paint to dry. Acrylic paints dry very quickly, within a matter of hours, whereas oil paints can take up to several days, even weeks, to dry. A lot of our beginner students like acrylics because if they make a mistake, they don't have to wait long to paint over it. However, that can also be frustrating because it's hard to mix the colors you want when they dry so fast.
I see. Well, I don't think I'll mind fast-drying paints. I'll go for acrylics then. What other kind of supplies will I need?
Do you think you'll be painting indoors or outdoors?
Definitely outdoors. I'd like to paint landscapes while immersed fully in nature myself. I'm a big wilderness explorer.
Sounds lovely. And if you ever feel you need some extra help, we have painting workshops at a local farm not too far from the city every last Saturday of the month. The workshop goes from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and participants enjoy a nice farm-style lunch meal.
Thank you. I'll go at my own pace, but I'll definitely consider it. It might be a nice way to learn, socialize, make new friends, and reminisce about my mother's cooking.
Question 1.
Why is the man at the art store?
Question 2.
What is the man interested in doing?
Question 3.
Why does the woman advise against watercolor?
Question 4.
According to the woman, why is acrylic better than oil paint?
Question 5.
Why does the woman suggest the workshop?
Question 6.
What is the man planning to do?
Listening to a daily life conversation. Listening to a news item.
A new report from the WHO says processed meat causes cancer. Processed meat includes bacon, hot dogs, ham and sausages, as well as canned meat and meat-based sauces. The report was made by the International Agency for Researching Cancer, the IARC. It said it was important to tell the world about the danger of processed meat because of the large number of people who consume it and get cancer. The report says that eating just 50 grams of processed meat a day increases the chance of developing some type of cancer by 18%. 50 grams is just 2 strips of bacon or 1 sausage. The WHO also said eating red meat carried a risk of developing cancer. Although it warned people about eating too much processed and red meat, it did say that meat had some health benefits. Meat has many important vitamins and minerals. The WHO said that people should cut down on the amount of processed meat they eat. People should also add more food that contains fiber, such as fruit and vegetables, so they have a balanced diet. But the industry is not happy with some of the details of the report. It does not like the fact that the IARC put processed meat in the same group as tobacco and alcohol. A spokesperson said that processed meat is not as harmful as tobacco and alcohol. The North American Meat Institute said the report would unnecessarily scare people.
Listening to a discussion.
I'm Rita Roberts. Our guest today is Scott Jasper, a local TV producer. Hello, Scott. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for inviting me, Rita.
Let me begin by saying that I asked a few people what they thought a producer does, and I was surprised at all the different responses I got.
Yeah, you're so right. When I tell people I'm a producer, I often get a slightly confused reaction, sort of like, oh, really?
Well, let's clear up the mystery.
I'd love to. First off, let me say that not every producer does exactly the same things. But I can say that they are all tired and stressed out, but probably love their job. For myself, I can tell you that my job allows me to be in charge of things and at the same time, work as part of a team. There's a lot of responsibility to this job, too. I have to see that everything is done correctly, on time, and within the budget.
Most people probably think of the producer as the money person. Is there a creative side to the job, too?
Oh, absolutely. For example, I do research and think up ideas for shows with the writers. And then I work with the directors and the performers. You have to have a strong personality to be a producer. You have to be in charge of everyone, get them to do what you want, but you still have to be nice to them.
That can't be easy.
Oh no, not at all. Also, you have to be able to make quick decisions. And if something you thought was great isn't working, you can't waste time. You have to let it go and start again. This isn't the job for someone who is indecisive or hates being under pressure. I love the excitement and the opportunity to work with very interesting people.
Well, this has been very informative, Scott, but I'm afraid we're out of time. Thank you so much for being our guest today.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
Speaking for Behind the Scenes, I'm Rita Roberts.
Hey, Rosanna, over here.
Hi, Mike. How are you? Been waiting long?
No, not at all. Have a seat.
Oh, it's great to see you.
Same here. So, how's the new apartment working out?
Good, good. I like it. The neighborhood, though, is...
What's the matter?
Well, there's a real graffiti problem. Some of the buildings down the street are covered with it, and it looks terrible.
I know what you mean. My neighborhood is the same way. I think we need to report people who are writing the graffiti to the police.
Yeah, that would really help, except I never see them doing it.
Well, other than that, how's the new neighborhood?
Well, I like all the stores. It's convenient for shopping, and it's pretty quiet at night. That's definitely a plus.
Sounds like you're pretty satisfied.
Yeah, I guess so. The only other problem is that it's impossible to find parking. I have to drive around the block 6 or 7 times to find a space. Usually I can find one, but sometimes I have to park really far away.
Is there any way you can rent space in a garage?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm thinking about doing just that. So, how are things in your neck of the woods?
Well, there's a bit of a noise problem where I live. I live right down the street from a school. The bell rings every morning at 7:30. It's impossible to sleep in.
Oh, what a drag.
Yeah, and when school lets out, the kids are really noisy. I mean, they're nice kids, just loud.
Well, I don't know what you could do about that situation.
Yeah, there's really nothing I can do, I guess. I just have to live with it. I don't know.
Excuse me, are you ready to order?
Could you give us a few more minutes? Thanks. I guess we better look at these menus first and talk later.
Yeah. So, what's good here?
Well, I think the fish is pretty good. I've also tried the turkey club, which isn't bad, and,
Question 1.
Where is this conversation taking place?
Question 2.
What has changed in the woman's life?
Question 3.
What does the woman say about her neighborhood?
Question 4.
What does the man say could solve their problem?
Question 5.
What could solve the woman's parking issue?
Question 6.
What will the man most likely do about his noise issue?
Listening to viewpoints. You will hear a report once.
If you're not feeling as happy as you'd like, maybe you should consider moving to another country, like Denmark, for example. According to social psychologist Adrian White, who analyzed data and surveys of 80,000 people in 178 countries, Denmark is the happiest nation in the world, closely followed by its northern European neighbors, Finland, Norway, and the Netherlands. Not surprisingly, perhaps, the happiest countries are also the healthiest and wealthiest, and those that provide their citizens with a good level of education. People may pay high taxes in these countries, but they are rewarded with other benefits, such as shorter work weeks, as well as more vacation time. All of these contribute to a general sense of well-being. Size also matters. Smaller countries, which have a strong sense of national identity and social cohesion, rate better in terms of happiness than countries with larger populations. While the governments of many countries seek to increase wealth and prosperity for their citizens, at least one government has made its citizens' happiness a priority. In Bhutan, a tiny country between China and India, happiness is part of government policy. Instead of measuring GNP, gross national product, Bhutan measures GNH, gross national happiness. Their rationale is that by putting a high value on health, education, and general well-being, citizens' lives will be improved in ways that enrich their nation's environment and culture. The program seems to be working. 19% of Bhutan's inhabitants live below the poverty level, yet only 4% of the population claim to be unhappy. There could well be lessons here for other governments hoping to improve both their GNP and GNH. Happier people tend to be more productive, leading to greater economic wealth. Moreover, they are often healthier, resulting in lower spending on healthcare. Ideas for producing happier citizens might include reducing unemployment, a major cause of unhappiness, improving parenting skills to create happier families, and finding ways to stimulate kindness toward others, which is known to make both the givers and receivers happier. In Japan, for example, community credit programs encourage couples who live too far from their aging parents to adopt an elderly person locally to care for. By doing this, they can earn credits that their own parents can use to buy similar volunteer care in their own neighborhoods. Governments adopting such programs might well see both the happiness and wealth of their nations improve. Of course, neither relocating to a new country nor waiting for new government policies may be the best way to guarantee your future happiness. Fortunately, however, researchers are coming to the conclusion that the main ingredient for a happy life is love. And that's something that no government can help you with.